What's up everyone? So I want to get a new segment started and it's pretty much the essay questions with Lisa Tran segment, and basically what this includes is every now and then I will choose a topic upon one of your suggestions of whatever book or film you're studying and break that down together with you on camera on YouTube. So if you like the idea of that, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up, so that I know that this is something that you're super keen on and that you'll find helpful. So I've taken liberty, since this is the first one that we've ever done, of choosing my own essay topic that I was interested in doing. So it's based on The Handmaid's Tale, and if any of you have read this or watched the which one is it? It's not the Netflix one, it's the other one, Hulu. So it's a TV series on Hulu. I have read and watched both and it has just been sensational. So I wanted to basically break down this prompt with you. If it's something that you haven't watched or if you haven't read it, that's not a problem at all, because the skills that I will be teaching you when it comes to breaking down an essay topic will be invaluable when it comes to actually applying it to your own studies. So let's get started. So just as a really quick summary that will probably butcher the overall meaning and the experience that you get from the book, but I don't want to really spoil it for you either. The Handmaid's Tale is set in this future world where America, or the United States, has become a dystopian society, and women in particular are reduced to nothing more than just childbearing species. So men are in charge, and these women who are deemed to be people who can give birth are kept alive and kept around in these rich people's homes or people who are higher up in the hierarchy, and they basically have to have sex with the male leader of the home and just create children, and that is their purpose. If they are no longer fertile, then they'll pretty much be outcasted from society and rejected. As a book, it's very thought-provoking because it's set in the future. Of course, this is something that we cannot guarantee won't actually happen. It's really scary to see how a world that was progressed, because they lived in modern American society, there was a lot of free movement happening out there, were same-sex relationships that were out in the open, people were taking contraceptives, but it regressed and it went back to a lot of old values that we had moved on from. So it really opens up a pot of questions that you can ask about where we're going as a society, where we think we're going as a society, and where it will actually end up. So that's just my quick 2-minute spiel. If you wanted to get your hands on the book, then I highly recommend it. I'll pop it down in the description box below. So the question here is, Atwood's concerns in A Handmaid's Tale go beyond women's freedom. Discuss. So the first thing I always do is I look at the keywords. We've got Atwood's concerns, go beyond, and women's freedom. The reason why we look at keywords is because we want to confirm to ourselves as the writer of this essay that we are going to stay focused and not go off topic with the essay topic. And the keywords will ensure that not only we stay on topic, but it emphasizes the ideas that we really need to focus on. So let's break down each of the keywords individually. Atwood's concerns. So this means that we have to focus on the author's intention or message in writing A Handmaid's Tale. We'd be thinking about what ideas does she criticize or condemn, or what does she endorse on the other hand. So go beyond is a very straightforward way of saying that an essay that is only focused on women's freedom probably won't be holistic or well-rounded enough. We have to look beyond the obvious. The third one is women's freedom. So what does this mean? To live in a patriarchal society, to be constantly monitored by guards and potential eyes, It's very easy to slip into just speaking about handmaids. Like I mentioned before, there's a male lead in the house who's the highest up in the hierarchy. He has a wife as well. Serena Joy is a perfect example of someone who, on the surface, ranks as the highest in female roles because she is the wife of the commander. So we see things from her perspective. So from this exploration of the keywords, I can come up with two main body paragraphs. The two ideas are: one, to live in a chilling postmodernism dystopia, Atwood showcases the evils of a patriarchy. My second one is, moreover, Atwood reveals how despite being at the top of the female hierarchy as commanders' wives, even they suffer. So let's have a look at both of these ideas individually. Some of my rationale behind this one include: one, Offred, who is our protagonist. Offred is actually not her real name, and because Offred is not her real name, she therefore represents any type of handmaid. She's just another one of them with a name assigned to her. So our identity is connected with our name. So her identity, which is what makes her feel human, is completely shredded from her. She has trouble remember what she even used to look like. The second thing is that it's dehumanizing. So it doesn't matter whether Offred is intelligent, educated, or even beautiful. What matters are viable ovaries, and therefore she's classified as a handmaid. And this is her last chance at being able to survive in this type of society. The third one is that she isn't even given the freedom to take her own life. So suicide is almost impossible. I know why there was no glass in front of the watercolor picture of the blue irises, and why the window opens only partly, and why the glass in it is shatterproof. It isn't running away they're afraid of. We wouldn't get that far. It's those other escapes, the ones you can open in yourself, given a cutting edge. So for us as humans, we get the opportunity to do things that we want, but even to take her own life away, to save herself from the world that she's living in, is impossible. On to our second idea. The first example I have for that is how Serena Joy, the commander's wife, actually used to have her own television show. She used to be really popular and she was a celebrity, and yet she's been reduced to basically just being the commander's wife, where she lurks around in the house. She really doesn't do that much anymore, and she's just there to support her husband, and that is her role. The second is that she's forced to partake in a ritual where her husband has sex with a handmaid. Which of us is it worse for? Her, meaning Offred, or me? So you can see that even for a commander's wife, somebody who is in a high position in this society, she's the elite, basically, of what women could be, even she is suffering. So going back to our keyword of go beyond, this means that in fact we should speak about other major issues in the oval and not just about female concerns. So our first two ideas revolve around female concern, but let's see what else we could discuss. So to me, another major issue revolving around freedom that's important to talk about: has the Gilead society actually influenced men and men's freedom? So it's super easy to just target men and say that, men are in power now, and so it's all about the women. But there are ample examples that show that even the men are suffering. So, of course, there are heaps of other issues that are brought forward in A Handmaid's Tale, but the ideas that I've discussed here are the ones that personally interest me the most, meaning that I've got a lot more to say and a lot more opinion to offer in my discussion. So at this point, I'll leave it up to you guys. If you have read or watched A Handmaid's Tale, tell me what you think, or ask me any questions you have about how you would structure this essay. I'd really love to have a productive discussion with you that includes some critical thinking on your part. So yeah, let's get it started. If you like this type of advice, then you may like joining my mailing list. So I'll pop that down in the description below. Basically, I send out weekly emails to you where I answer student questions and give you more advice and tips and resources that I don't give anywhere else. It's 32 degrees today for the first time in Melbourne in like forever. So I'm going to the beach and I'm going to spoil myself right now. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.